Hi boys and girls, today we're going to be reading Fancy Nancy Too Many Tutus. We're going to practice using our scoop strategy to see if we understand what we're reading. Let's review what that means. So the S in scoop stands for setting. We're going to want to know when and where the story happens. The C stands for characters. Who is in the story? The first O is the order of events. You should be able to tell the story in order, what happens at the beginning, and the middle, and the end. The second O is for oh no, what's the problem in the story? And the P is problem solved. How do they fix the problem in the story? The fancy word for that is solution. What is the solution? Okay, so let's get started. Fancy Nancy, too many tutus. Fancy Nancy, too many tutus. My closet is bulging. That is a fancy way to say that the door will not close. You have too many tutus, my mom tells me. My mom wants me to give some away. This tutu is too small for you, she says. Yes, but now I can wear this tutu on my head. I look like a bride, I say. This tutu is torn, my mom points out. But it makes a lovely cape, I say. See? Then my mom says, look, these two tutus are too small and they are identical. Identical means the same. My mom knows fancy words too. Okay, I say. I give one tutu to Jojo. I give one tutu to Frenchie. My mom wants to give away more tutus, but I refuse. That's fancy for saying no way. The next day, Miss Glass says, it is the first day of the month. Miss Glass is going to measure each of us. We all get out our growth charts. Ooh la la. Hi, Domino. She wants to listen to the story too, apparently. We all get out our growth charts. Ooh la la, I have grown almost an inch since school started. Clara is miserable. That's fancy for very, very unhappy. I'm not any taller, she says. I'm not growing. Your body is growing all the time, Miss Glass says. Only one person here is not growing. Me. One day you will stop growing, but not for a long time. Clara looks relieved. That's fancy for feeling better. After our growth charts are put away, Miss Glass tells us about a swap and shop. On Thursday, bring in clothes that you have outgrown. You will get a point for every item. Item is a fancy word for thing. On Friday, we can spend our points on items that other children have brought in. Ooh la la, I like this idea. My mom likes this idea too. We clean out my closet. What about a few tutus? My mom asks. I relent. That is fancy for give in. The next morning, my shopping bag is bulging with tutus and clothes. Miss Glass counts my items. I get 15 tickets. The swap and shop is in the gym. Will I find a long velvet dress? Or party shoes with jewels on the bows? Or a real cape with fake fur trim? I am not sure. Mostly I see lots of old sweatshirts and old jeans. Then suddenly, I see the tutu of my dreams. Oh no, Grace sees it too. Grace gets to the tutu first. Mine, she shouts. But Grace has only 5 points, and the tutu costs 7 points. Ha! Mine, I say. I start to take the tutu from Grace, but she looks miserable. That makes me feel bad. I have lots of tutus after all. So I give Grace 2 of my points. She can buy the tutu now. Miss Glass takes me aside and says, "That was very thoughtful. Thoughtful is fancy for kind." Then she says, "You are growing up in lots of ways." The swap and shop is almost over. I still have lots of points. I spend them all on 2 tutus. What a bargain! That's fancy for something good that doesn't cost a lot. At home, I model my new tutus. 2 new tutus, says Mom, but she does not mind. Why? For the first time in ages, my closet door closes. Fancy Nancy's new words. That's not what it says. Fancy Nancy's fancy words. These are the fancy words in this book. Bargain means something good that doesn't cost a lot. Bulging, very full. Identical, the same. Miserable, very, very unhappy. Refuse, a fancy way of saying no. Relent, give in. Relieved, feeling better. Thoughtful, kind. All right, let's scoop this book. So, setting. When and where did this story happen? So, we know that where is Fancy Nancy in this book? Part of the book, she's at home, right? And part of the book, she's at school. So that is where the story happens. When does the story happen? It tells us in the story that they got out their growth charts and measured how much they grew for the whole school year. So we know it's not the first day of school, but that's about all we know about when. So in this story, the when is not very important. Sometimes it is really important. Characters. Who were the characters in this story? Fancy Nancy, her mom. Do you remember her dog's name? She gave him a tutu. Frenchie. And her teacher. Do you remember her teacher's name? Miss Glass. And the girl who wanted to get the same tutu as her. Do you remember her name? Grace. Right? And there was another girl in the story that was kind of sad because she didn't grow a lot. Do you remember her name? It's Clara. Who do you think is the most important character in this book? The main character? I agree. I think it's Fancy Nancy. If we're not sure who the main character is, we can look for clues, right? We talked about her name is in the title. That's a pretty good chance that she is going to be the main character, Fancy Nancy, and she's on the cover of the book, and she's on almost every single page in the whole book. So that gives us a pretty good clue that she is the main character. Okay, next we have order of events. So we need to say something that happened at the beginning, in the middle, and the end. So what's happening in this picture? Fancy Nancy's mom is telling her she needs to get rid of some stuff, right? And then in the middle of the story, teacher says, we are going to bring in items from home. And at the end of the story, Fancy Nancy gets 2 new tutus. And her mom is not even mad because the closet door can finally close. Good. Okay, now we have an oh no, what's the problem in this story? When I think about the problem in this story, I can think of 3 different things that someone might say. But if we look at the title of the story, Too Many Tutus, that gives away the problem that the author thinks is the most important. Too many tutus is the problem. Fancy Nancy has too many. So how did she solve that problem? Do you remember? She brings 15 items to school, doesn't she? For the class sale. Were you thinking of a different problem in the story? I thought of 2 other problems in the story. Remember, Clara was sad because she didn't grow, and her teacher told her not to worry, that she was still growing all of the time. You could have thought that was one of the problems. And the other problem I thought of was, remember Grace and Fancy Nancy both wanted the same tutu? And how did they solve that problem? Fancy Nancy was very sweet and kind, wasn't she? She let Grace have the tutu because Grace doesn't have very many tutus, and Fancy Nancy has a lot. So she shared her points with her friend Grace so that she could have a tutu too. Very good. All right, I hope you liked the story, Fancy Nancy, Too Many Tutus. See you later.